Second week's in the books. And who'd have thought? Retro video games sell. I learned a lot this week when it comes to everything in the process. Let's jump into it, talk about the sales, and get the show going. So this is our overview page for the week. And as you can see, it looks abysmal. And there's a reason it looks abysmal. I sold a lot of stuff that was lying around the house this week. Before I say what I'm about to say, I am not an accountant. I am not giving anybody tax advice. I'm just telling you what I've learned and showing you what I do. Even though sales look bad this week, they're actually not, because like I said, I sold a lot of stuff from my home. When you have to assign value to something, because I didn't buy it at a garage sale or a thrift store, I had to decide what that value was. There's different ways you can do this. And I mean, again, talk to an accountant. What I'm currently doing is I'm assigning the value of the product when it's something that from my home that I bought years ago. I don't have a receipt. I don't remember how much I paid for it. I'm assigning it the value of what it sold for, so it zeroes out. It looks like I didn't make any money, but the fact is I spent the money years ago to get it back now. And we'll talk about that once we get some of the sales and why it is this way. If I did assign values, I actually already pulled it up. If I didn't assign values, these are what my numbers would have looked like if you would have figured that everything around the house was free. It wasn't free. I did pay for it at one time. And I'll explain the different costs and how I got to the numbers I did. But for the purpose of everything I sold, I just zeroed it out so I'm square with the house. So that way, when it comes tax season, it doesn't look like I made a profit, because I'm sure a lot of the stuff I did sell from around the house, I took a loss on, if you think about it from what my initial purchase price was years ago. As you can see, we have for the week an 82% return on investment and a net profit of 15%. Return on investment by source, Goodwill 50 miles away. She's winning right now. It's where I'm getting a lot of sourcing from. Every Wednesday I'm driving out there and I'm doing my sourcing at all the thrift stores in that town. Garage sales are another big win. And this week I've ventured into estate sales, which I'm a big fan of estate sales now. Home shows 0% return on investment because I zeroed everything out. Here's the listings of current sourcing. Goodwill and home take up more than 50% of my inventory right now. But garage sales, St. Vinny de Paul's, are taking up another portion of it. As far as active listings by price, over 50% are less than $20. This is from last week of easing into it and doing small ticket items. My 20 to 50 has grown quite a bit. We're now at 15 items. And then we also do have one item between 50 and 100, and we have two items over $100. New listings for the week, as I told you, feed the machine consistency. I will always post at least 5, and I continued on my goal this week. And my goal was, my personal goal that I wanted to do was I would like to have averaged a sale a day. And thankfully, in my week 2, I met that goal and I had 9 sales this week. Feel really good about it. Cash flow is king, so you want the money coming in the door. We did 44 new listings, which is over my goal of 5 listings a day. A couple days I did 7, 8 listings. I'm just trying to ease into it while I have the inventory. As you can see, I'm now in my shop. This is where I spend most of my days doing the listings and get everything ready. This is my shipping area. This is my photo area. We'll be talking about processes and what I've learned this week here coming up. I'm done going through the sales. Total amount spent, $259. And the reason that number is so high is because I placed the cost of goods for my home sales. So that's why the $259 spent is so drastic high. And let's get into the sales. And we got 9 products to go through today. And rounding it down, now here's where you're going to see why selling stuff from home zeroes out. We've got the number 9 sale of the week, Indiana Jones Greatest Adventures on Super Nintendo. Tested working. It sold for $35.95 plus $5.95 shipping and handling, 40-cent fixed value fee, final value fee of $5.15. Cost to ship was $402. Return on investment and net profit is 0. Because this was a home item that I had in my inventory, so I zeroed it out under the purchase price. Good enough to be the 9th sale of the week. Next up, another Super Nintendo game, Mario Kart. It was purchased for $30.87, which is $24.87 plus $6 even for shipping and handling. Fixed final value fee was 40 cents. Final value fee from eBay was $4.29. I started doing promoted listings this week. So eBay gives you the option to do promoted listings. You can do a flat campaign rate, which I don't like, or you could do a percentage of the sale rate. And the lowest you can do is give eBay 2%, and then you can go all the way up to 100% promote listings and give eBay all your money for selling your. I'm doing 2% on every item. And the way I'm looking at it is I will give eBay an extra 2% if they're promoting me, and it nets me a return of more money than what I'm actually sinking in. So, yep, that is the number 8 sale of the week. Next up, Spider-Man vs. Venom for Super Nintendo again. Sold for $45.82, which is $39.87 plus $5.95 shipping and handling. 40-cent fixed final value fee for eBay, plus a final value fee of $6.07 off the sale. Cost to ship for me was $4.02. Again, zero return on investment, zero net profit because it was a home item that I've had for years. Number 6 sale of the week. WWE All-Stars for PlayStation 3 sold for $25.95, which is $20 even and $5.95 shipping and handling. Fixed final value fee of 40 cents. Final value fee of $3.60. Cost to ship was $4.43. And I zeroed it out, making the purchase price $17.52. And I'm pretty sure this is the last time you're going to have to hear me say that. Number 5 sale of the week. I went to that garage sale 2 Fridays ago with my mom, and while there, they had a box that was labeled $20 for everything inside. It was just a slew of old games, card games, board games, and things like that. After getting it all, I signed the purchase price for $3 for each individual item, and then I started going through it, and a lot of the stuff was missing pieces and stuff like that. So I just started posting it all, and this is a Rook deck from 1939. And the only card it's missing is the Rook card. So assigning a purchase price of $3.33 for the item. It sold for $10.95. That's $5 for the product and $5.95 shipping and handling. Fixed final value fee for eBay was 40 cents. Their final value fee was $1.58. Cost to ship was $4.43. My net return was $1.21 on it. The return of investment was 36%. And my net profit margin was 11%. So those are low numbers. It's a low ticket item. It was missing a piece. I was happy to get rid of it. I still made my money back on the individual item itself. And there was another item in game in there that was complete, and it's worth a lot more money. It's currently listed up on my store right now. It's a little mini slot machine. It will sell eventually. It's going to sell for a very big profit, which is going to make all the smaller games that were in the box less of a loss. And it's not a loss. I still made money on it. It's just not in the net profit margin where I was. Number 4 sale of the week. Again, another game from the box, a vintage handheld push-button roulette wheel. Sold on eBay for $13.05, $7 for the actual item itself, and $6.05 for shipping and handling. The fixed final value fee is 40 cents. The final ship was $4.55. My net return on the product was $2.97, which is a return of investment of 89% and a net profit margin of 23%. This game was actually kind of cool, and it probably would have sold for $15 or $16. I didn't want to keep this inventory for a couple months. I knew that if I priced it down, I could move it real quick. And at $7, I was still making a $3 profit. As soon as I marked it down to $7, it sold within a day. So that comes in as the number 4 sale of the week. The number 3 sale of the week, again from the box of games, is this vintage Halsam 9966 domino set, 920, made in the USA. This was a complete set. The box was completely destroyed, but it was the original box from the 30s. All these games were like from the 1930s and 1940s. That sold on eBay for $16.47, which was $7.47, plus $9 shipping and handling. The fixed final value fee, 40 cents as always. Final value fee was $2.27. This did sell on an ad. So somebody picked it up on an ad, which means I owed eBay 2% of the sale, which was 34 cents. Cost to ship cost me $6.33, which gave me a net return of $3.80, 114% return on investment, 23% profit margin. The number 2 sale of the week, Sony 171 Ronin Natsu Japan 108 0075 black headphone. Fair black Sony headphones, regular wireless jack. This sold for $13.95, which is $8 and $5.95 shipping and handling. I purchased these at a garage sale 2 weeks ago for $2. Funny enough, it was my cousin's garage sale that I got them at, and these used to be hers, so she sold them to me for $2. I actually sold these to a friend who hit me up, and he was looking at my store and said, "Hey, are these good?" And I'm like, "They work perfectly," and they are for a little pair of headsets. They're really good. They normally retail for $39.99, and then he offered me $8 for them, and I was like, send me a best offer. That's the thing. Best offer, everything's negotiable. I'm in it to make the sale. So me and my buddy were able to come to an agreement on that. Fixed final value fee of 40 cents, final value fee of $1.98 for eBay. Cost to ship was $4.43. I had a net return of $5.14, which is a 257% return on investment. A 37% profit margin, which is where I'd like to be, is in that 40 to 50 range, getting up there. This looks a little bit better now, and that was good enough to be the second sale of the week. And then we got the number 1 spot. It is a Travis Matthew Men's XL, embroidered and branded with Santa Margarita Catholic School, which is a California Catholic school, golf polo shirt. I'm assuming it was a member of their golf teams. This sold on eBay for $21.62, which was $14.87 plus $6.75 shipping in handling. The final fixed value fee was 40 cents. Final value fee was $2.97. Cost to ship was $4.43. I got a net return of $9.80. Return on investment was 244%, and my net profit margin was 45%. And that was good enough to be the sale of the week. And now purchase price was $4.02. And that brings me to one of the things I learned this week, really good for your mental state when you're doing reselling on eBay. When I go sourcing now, I'm not logging the individual price of the product I paid for. What I'm doing is I'm coming home with all my receipts, and I have a little box that I put all my receipts in right here, like assigning the actual value I paid for the product to each individual one. What I do is I count all the products I got sourcing that day, and then I total up everything I spent, the multiple different places I went to source, and then I just divide that, and then everything I purchased that day has the same cost of goods for every single item. The reason this is good for you mentally as a reseller, when you're getting big items pay up on, it brings those down, and then your lesser items that like are a quarter, $1, it brings them up. But for the numbers, it averages everything out to where you don't feel I have to make $50 off this one sale to make this profitable. It narrows everything out, and it's a great way for you to competitively price your things in the market and not worry of so much about, well, I paid this for this item on that day. Just say I paid $4.02 for every item. Mentally, it's a lot easier to get a product sold for a profit when that number of that initial cost of goods is a smaller number. That's one way you can do it, is just take the total of the day of sourcing, count up all your products, and then divide your total cost for the day by the amount of products you source that day. I think that's a move I switched to this week that I really like. It is crazy how my sales started increasing. Every day that goes by, I feel I'm getting better at this. I only had one day where I didn't at least get one sale this week, and that was Wednesday. But every other day, woke up to 1, 2, 3 sales, which is a great feeling because it makes you feel like you're actually building towards something. Sticking with the game plan of 5 a day, it keeps growing. I'm hoping one day to have my first day where I sell more than I list. Today's Sunday. Obviously, Sundays where numbers weren't in there. And this morning I woke up to 1 sale, and then I had 2 sales on the day as well. It was a good day. But a good week. I'm really enjoying the whole process. I can't wait to continue on. Other things I'm learning is make sure you're organized, make sure you have all the equipment you need to do the job. I upgraded my cheap computer system here with obviously a camera and a microphone now, so I can film from here instead of having the inside of my trailer as a backdrop. And remember, I'm just a dude that lives in a trailer in the woods, and I have a really big garage, so I'm not an expert in anything. I really do want to say thank you to everybody who watched last week's episode, and thank you to all the new subscribers. You guys are fantastic. I really appreciate it. All the comments were so positive and so inspirational. Thank you guys for joining me on this journey. As far as other updates for me from the week, my college admissions acceptance process, everything got finalized. I will be starting college on July 1st to get my bachelor's degree in graphic design. So that's some exciting news that's happened with me this week. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll answer them on next week's episode. But really, thank you guys. I appreciate everybody sharing the video out. I hope you guys are enjoying this content. I hope to make more. I'm enjoying doing all this stuff. Check out my store. Otherwise, see you guys next week.